All right, buying a new car, it's a huge decision. And one of the very first questions you're probably asking yourself is sedan or SUV? So many people get stuck on this, and honestly, it can be a really confusing debate. But don't you worry, we're going to break it all down right now so you can make the absolute perfect choice for you.
Let's dive in.
So this is the big question, isn't it? Sedan or SUV? And this is about so much more than just how the car looks. It's really about what fits your lifestyle, your family, and, of course, your wallet. One is all about smooth comfort and amazing mileage, while the other one's all about power and space. We're going to compare them on absolutely everything, so by the time we're done here, you'll know exactly which one is the right fit.
Okay, let's start with the classic sedan. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? Think of a Toyota Corolla or a Honda Civic. These cars are built low to the ground, which is what gives them that really smooth, easy-to-handle feel on the road. But their real secret weapon? It's that incredible fuel efficiency and that nimble control. That makes them, hands down, the champions of city driving and your daily commute.
And then we have the SUV, the sport utility vehicle. Picture something like a Toyota Fortuner or a Kia Sportage. These guys are the real workhorses of the road. They're bigger, they're taller, and they are packing way more power. So what's the big advantage here? Well, they sit high off the ground, they've got powerful engines, and they offer just a ton of space. They are literally built for adventure, for big families, and for those long road trips.
All right, let's get down to what is, for most of us, the most important factor: the cost. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused. They only think about that price tag at the dealership. But we're going to look at the total cost of owning the car. So let's see how these two really stack up when it comes to your money. Right out of the gate, when you look at that initial cost, it's not even a competition. The sedan is the clear winner here. You're just going to pay less up front. And because it's got a smaller size and a smaller engine, you're also going to save money on taxes and registration. An SUV, well, it's always going to cost you more just to drive it off the lot.
Now let's compare a really big one: fuel economy. This is an absolutely crucial point. A sedan, you see, is lighter. It has a smaller engine, so it's built for efficiency. It is way more economical. An SUV, on the other hand, with its heavy body and that big, powerful engine, well, it means you're going to be spending a lot more time and money at the gas station. If you drive to work every day, that difference is going to hit your wallet hard and fast.
Let's look at some actual numbers, because they really tell the story. A pretty typical sedan might get you around 16 kilometers for every liter of fuel. A similar SUV, you'd be lucky to get 9. Just think about that for a second. Over a whole year of daily driving, that difference adds up to a huge amount of money that's staying in your pocket instead of going into the fuel tank.
And finally, let's talk about what it costs to just keep your car on the road: the maintenance. And again, the sedan comes out on top for saving you money. The parts are usually cheaper and way easier to find. Now for an SUV, you're looking at more expensive parts across the board. I'm not just talking about those giant tires. It's also the bigger brakes, the heavy-duty suspension. All of that costs more to replace. So for total cost, the sedan is without a doubt the champion of value.
So, we've talked all about the costs. But what about how these cars actually fit into your everyday life? Now we're going to get into comfort, space, and safety. The things that really matter when you're living with a car day in and day out. Let's see how they stack up.
Okay, this is where you really have to think about what's more important to you. If you've got a big family or you're always carrying around a lot of stuff, then the SUV's extra headroom and that huge cargo space is a massive advantage. But if what you really want is a smooth, comfortable ride, especially on the highway, then the sedan's lower profile gives it a clear win with a lot less of that body roll.
Safety is, of course, a top concern for everyone. And look, both modern sedans and SUVs are packed with safety features, but they have different strengths. An SUV's bigger size and stronger, heavier body can definitely give you an edge in a collision. But, and this is important, the sedan's lower center of gravity makes it more stable and way less likely to roll over, which is a really significant safety factor to think about. Now we get to a point that could be the single most important factor in your whole decision. You really need to know this. This is where the sedan and the SUV become two completely different kinds of vehicles. Where you plan to drive is going to completely decide which car is the right one for you. Let me put it plainly. If you are regularly dealing with rough roads, or if you like to travel to the mountains or out to the countryside, an SUV is the only practical choice. Period. A sedan's low height just can't handle it. You're going to be scraping the bottom on speed bumps and getting stuck. The SUV, with its high ground clearance and its rugged, strong suspension, is built from the ground up to take on those exact challenges. So, after weighing all the pros and all the cons, which one is the right choice for you? Let's boil everything we've talked about down to a simple guide to help you make that final decision with total confidence.
Okay, so who is the sedan perfect for? Well, you should choose a sedan if you're working with a tight budget, you do most of your driving around the city, you have a smaller family, and saving money on fuel is your #1 priority. It's the smart, practical, and economical choice for day-to-day life.
And when is an SUV the right call? Well, you should go for an SUV if you have a big family, you love to hit the open road for long trips, you often find yourself on rough or unpaved roads, and you value that feeling of power and having a ton of space above everything else. It really is the ultimate choice for versatility and for adventure.
So at the end of the day, what's the big takeaway here? The best car isn't about which one is the biggest or the fastest. It's all about finding the one that is the best fit for your life. Think about your budget, think about your family, and think about the roads you drive on every day. Once you do that, the right choice is going to be crystal clear. We hope this has helped you out. Happy driving.